Hi guys, so today we're having a look at a primer from Wet n Wild. This is the Impossible Primer Base, the one silicone-free primer that does it all. So you get 25 millilitres for £6.25. I bought this off of Beauty Bay, and hi Flynn. Their description is a matte hydrating primer. Boost your base with the Wet n Wild Prime Focus The Impossible Primer. This silicone-free formula sinks into the skin for a silky, seamless application that helps to keep your makeup on all day. Enriched with skin-loving gooseberry and jeju blossom extract, this primer mattifies the skin while keeping it nourished and blurring the appearance of pores for a flawless finish. So, as ever, I've compared it to a kind of similar price bracket primer, so again, very affordable drugstore primer. I've done half my face, we have an application section, and then we'll go on and do a wear test. Right, so skincare is all done, time to put on my primer. So I'm going to use the Revolution Peach Delight, which is one I'm familiar with, on the right side of my face, and the Wet n Wild Impossible on the left side of my face. So, just going to quickly throw this on. This is a silicone primer and the other one is silicone free, so you know, it's going to be interesting to see how they compare. So this is specifically a mattifying primer with vitamin C and E, whereas the Wet n Wild one just says it's a primer that does it all. Mattifies, hydrates, blurs pores, preps skin for lasting makeup, and it's impossibly silicone free. So they're basically trying to say it'll do the same things as the silicone one without having silicone. So yeah. Love the smell of that Revolution one. Right, so you get slightly more in the Revolution one. I'm sniffing this and it's sealed, so that's great. Ooh, it looks very silicone-y. Hang on, look at that. Okay. Got a bit of a fresh scent to it. Kind of coconutty though. I'm not a coconut fan. Feels strange. It's got a bit of a slip to it, but it's definitely not got the silicone-y feeling. There's no silicone. Okay. I mean, my pores look pretty good on both sides in terms of the blurring and filming, blurring and filling, not filming. Yeah, so this is the Impossible side, this is the Revolution side. So it does have that similar smoothed over effect. I think it's slightly better on the Revolution side, but it is relying on silicones, so let's have a look at popping foundation on. I'm still using the Shein foundation. Like you can see I've properly been using this. It's became my go-to. And my beloved Beauty Pie Seamless Foundation Buffing Brush. So let's see how this goes. So it definitely feels like it's got a bit of a grip to it. You know, the brush isn't like completely gliding. So that kind of, to me, that bodes well for how it's going to wear. It is going to grip my foundation. And yeah, my pores are almost invisible now. Yay! So this one glides a little bit more. Silicone does have a bit of a slip feeling to it. stamp, 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 stamp. Okay, I feel like I've got a slightly nicer finish on the Wet n Wild side. I feel like it's looking a little bit fuller, like fuller coverage, and that possibly is related to that grip of the foundation. I'm going to put a tiny bit more product out, which I don't normally have to do. So yeah, maybe this has gripped foundation better to use up a little bit more product and get that fuller coverage look. Around my jawline as well. Right. Okay, zooming in again. I actually think this side looks a little bit nicer now. This looks a little bit more, despite the full coverage, it looks a little bit more natural, like a bit more skin-like. Let's go ahead and do my under eye corrector and then do the concealers and see how that goes. So I want to see how it looks when it's all fully done and set down, because that to me is when you really see the finished look and what you're going to be wearing during the day. I've got the Shein concealer again as well. Honestly, I love this so much. Let's get all my normal bits. And yeah, I've got quite bad breakouts still. I wasn't well at the start of the week. And I've just been stressed, I guess, with house and work and everything else. So, my skin is allowed to break out, basically. I'm not holding it against it. Just realising I haven't brought my powder brush over. My bad. Although I've still got that Real Love one sitting here. Yay, I can use that, because that was nice. Okay. Okay. Okey-doke. And smooth everything out on my nose. Okay, so now I'm thinking this side looks better, but there is a spot like immediately there which probably isn't helping the look of this side. Just highlight my mustache area, the usual. Okay, let's get this powdered down. Just using the RCMA powder. This is just, I still love this. It's actually half empty now. If you've been around my channel for a while, you'll know I've had this for a while. And that's it just starting to look like it might run out in my lifetime. It's just a great translucent powder. There's a pressed version of it now as well, which I'm slightly tempted to get for like touch-ups during the day. But I have a lot of powders for touch-ups during the day. I probably shouldn't buy another one until I've used a handful of them. Okay, so powdered down. This is the Revolution side. Sorry, I should say the I Heart Revolution side, and this is the Wet n Wild side. So this is definitely looking a bit fuller coverage. Other than that, finish wise with the pores and everything, they look pretty even. On camera this one looks a lot more different than in real life. Yeah, so I'm going to go and finish like the rest of my makeup, brows, liner, all that jazz. But in terms of wear test, it is just about 5 to 10. I'll obviously wear this for the day, keep you up to date with any changes between the sides. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Right, so back for a little bit of a check-in. It is 20 to 7. So I've had this on for almost 9 hours now. I took Flynn a walk. He done 4.5 miles, so I probably done somewhere around 4, maybe. But my face is looking pretty darn good. So let's zoom in. Right, so I'm thinking. So this is the Revolution, I Heart Revolution Peach Delight, and this is the Impossible Primer. I don't think there's a huge amount in it. Maybe get the tiniest bit more oil on the Wet n Wild side compared to the Revolution side. In terms of coverage, I would say we are pretty even. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. That wasn't that red this morning. Oops, I'll need to look into that. Yeah, so I'm going to give myself a bit of a powder down, hopefully. In fact, I'm going to put out a little bit more powder. Whee! Oh, and I brought my favourite powder brush over, so I'm just going to go back to dinner. Yeah, so far these are pretty darn close, but I will keep testing them for the rest of today, and we'll see if there's any new developments. Right, so I'm back. It is 25 to 11, so I've basically had this on for 13 hours now, and I guess on camera the Wet n Wild side looks a little bit nicer. Not really seeing any difference in person. Let's have a look at the oil control side of things. So this is the Wet n Wild side, and this is the I Heart Revolution side. So I would say slightly more oil on the Wet n Wild side. I think my skin does quite well with silicone based primers for that. My pores are looking equally good, coverage is looking fairly even. So, is this a good primer? Well, yes, absolutely. It's doing the job. Between the two of them, I'm always going to end up choosing this guy. I like the scent, it's got slightly better oil control, you get slightly more for slightly less money. I think it's cheaper anyway. Let me double check. Okay, yeah, so it's the tiniest price difference. This is £6, this is £6.25, this is 27 mils, this is 25 mils. So, yeah. If you really are trying to avoid silicone-based primers, then this one is silicone-free. So out of the two, you'd want to go for that one. If you like coconut-scented things, also, you might want to go for this one. But for me, as an oily-skinned disliker of coconut smells, and have no problem with silicone primers and my skin, this is going to be my winner. So, can't say it enough, I'm not saying this is a bad product, it's definitely in the good buy category, just as a general thing. It just wouldn't be my personal first choice. So just bear in mind those different factors, the scent, whether you are trying to avoid silicones, but they're both very affordable and both very good. So yeah, if you get any questions, leave them down below and I'll get back to you. Hi Flynn. And if you get any requests, leave them down as well, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.